In this segment, we're getting to know one of Joe's fellow authors on Substack. His name is Aaron Kenney.
All right. Well, hey, we are also very proud to partner with the National Concealed Carry Association as a 10-ring partner. NCCA exists to serve the Second Amendment community by providing a nationwide network of 2A advocates. They offer elite self-defense and concealed carry training from the nation's top instructors and provide rock-bottom prices on the best selection of gear and accessories. Join them today. Members get great prices and free shipping. Learn more about them at nationalconcealedcarryassociation.net or .com. Sorry about that.
Yep.
So, who's your guest?
nationalconcealedcarryassociation.com.
Correct.
Excellent. Aaron Kenney of Civilian Dissent wrote a very interesting article. You know, Joe Jamisi couldn't be here today, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But this is something that he recommended and liked very much. So we thought we'd get Aaron on the air and chat with him a little bit. Aaron, how you doing, man?
Good, man. I appreciate you guys having me on.
You bet. So talk about your art. First, tell us who you are.
I'm Aaron Kenney. I write, obviously, on Substack, Civilian Dissent. And
what is Substack? Tell people what Substack is.
The Substack is so when we saw a bunch of, like, journalists start getting nixed from various places, you know, like especially when the censorship really kicked off a couple years ago. Glenn Greenwald was, like, the most notable one. They kind of all flocked to this alternate platform. And it's a censorship-free platform where the authors can basically control, you know, they can do free stuff or they can do like paid weekly emails or whatever. But it's just like it's a nice alternative to like the mainstream media. So.
Okay, you're talking to the dummy in the room. So I sit down to my computer, and what do I do to get there?
You just go to substack.com.
Oh.
And then you can, Oh.
Yeah. There you go.
If you want to go to mine specifically, you would go to civiliandissent.substack.com.
Okay,
and I think Joe's is getagrip.substack.com or something. So whatever it is, you know.
That's interesting.
Okay.
See, I thought it'd be more difficult.
No, it's easy. It's easy. Modern technology. Okay, so you wrote an article titled, I should say, "You Are Part of a Cultural Insurgency." You are part of a cultural insurgency. Tell us about that article. What point were you looking to make in the article?
So it was just for like all of us that, you know, who are big Second Amendment advocates. You never really, it was just like an attaboy for all of us that have been pushing for this. Just a reminder that what we are doing works. Ultimately, it's just the current Second Amendment culture, like the dominating force in it has been influenced so much by the NRA and, various, I would say, feckless conservative leaders. We've been conditioned to just kind of give up our rights or compromise whenever the Democratic Party pushes.
Well, you were really rough on the NRA. Talk a little bit about that.
Well, I mean, the NRA has supported every federal gun control bill since its inception. You know, it was in on writing the NFA. It helped with the GCA. They supported the bump stock ban, the most recent one. So they are kind of the epitome of compromise, in my opinion.
Now, if they were, look, I'm not here to support the NRA. I'm not here. I personally have had, in our organization, San Diego County Gun Owners, Riverside County Gun Owners, we've had run-ins, let's say, with the NRA. But I'm not here to bash them. I'm not here to support them.
Mm-hmm.
But devil's advocate would say that they weren't supportive of certain legislation, that the legislation that you're talking about. But what they were trying to do is stop it and then, or at least craft it so that it wasn't as bad. What's your reaction? I get that all the time. This isn't my argument. This is what I'm told all the time. So just playing devil's advocate and bringing up what they would say. What are your thoughts on that?
No, and I hear the same argument all the time. And the thing is that the Second Amendment is very clear in the way it was written and the way the founding fathers, wanted it to be or had prescribed early on. and that it was never their job to compromise on our behalf. And it was never their job to try to get in and try to quote unquote mold legislation to make it easier on us. It was their job to oppose it no matter what. That's why they get millions of dollars a year. That's why they are the face of gun rights.
I think that's a fair criticism. Absolutely. In the article, you also talk about Tim Poole a lot, who I'm a fan of. I like Tim Poole. I don't agree with everything. I don't agree with everything. There's nobody out there I agree with on everything.
Yeah, I'm with you.
But he's a good dude. He's interesting, and I've listened to him. It was actually my wife found him and turned him on to me, and I've heard him kind of. I don't know if he shifted, and kind of changed and maybe was enlightened on some things like gun issues, Second Amendment issues, or if the world around him changed and he refused to go with them, and therefore it looks like he was kind of left in the cold. But he originally started out as a Bernie Sanders guy. Progressive, and I think he would
Occupy Wall Street guy.
That's where he got famous. Occupy Wall Street, covering all that. But now, he's pretty rock solid when it comes to Second Amendment issues. Wouldn't you agree?
Yes. Oh yeah. It's actually been so. He hasn't always been that way. I know he had like a run-in with like a break-in or something, and all he had on him was a pellet gun to defend himself, and that kind of changed his mind a little bit. He's talked about that. But it's been fun to watch him go from like not against guns but not for them to tentatively pro-gun to now he's pretty much an absolutist. So there has been a shift in him, and it's been fun to watch, and it's encouraging because if some hardcore leftist Occupy Wall Street Bernie guy can do it, that means we can do that for a lot of people, right? They're not all lost.
And so, tell us, and that was kind of that's what you kind of with the article. That's how you kind of kicked it off, is with Tim Poole, and basically, was that the reason for including Tim? Is saying, hey, look, if this guy can change, we can change anybody.
Well, that's part of it, and the other. Honestly, it was just his assessment of the current Second Amendment culture that inspired me to write it. Like he was talking about the dominant culture that's a little bit of an older generation. Probably the guys that were the guys that were advocating that we give up bump stocks, to satiate the left. The guys who are willing to compromise. They think that, there has to be quote unquote reasonable gun control. But I wanted to write the article because we are seeing a shift in the culture right now, where the younger generation is much, much more of an absolute, of like the absolutist type. We want the NFA abolished and that kind of stuff. So it was his little excerpt there inspired me to write it, but I wanted to, I don't know, like I said, encourage those of us who are fighting the good fight, right?
So from your article, I just want to read a little bit. Culture is everything. Politics is irrelevant. And we are taking over the Second Amendment culture. We are only going to get more wealthy, more powerful, and more influential as we get older. And we will infiltrate institutions and political offices everywhere. It's not a fast strategy, but it's the only way to have meaningful political change. I thought that was an excellent way. It was your penultimate paragraph there, and I thought it was an excellent summary and way to as an outro to your article. Is that pretty much sums up all the points you made prior? Wouldn't you say?
Yeah, man, and I appreciate the kind words there. But yeah.
So, and part of it is being involved. We have a candidate in the studio today, right now, Laura Lothian. She's running for office.
Hello.
in La Mesa. She's endorsed by San Diego County Gun Owners, and we're trying very hard to get her elected. I've said many times, we have to get involved. We have to stop sharing memes, and thinking that that's activism. And honestly, like, the refuse to comply people, they're not helping. And I don't mean that it's that they're literally. Actually, I do mean they're literally not helping. If you're hey, I'm going to fight this by refusing to comply, that really means you're just sitting in your house, not doing something, that and kind of feeling good about how ballsy you are. When in reality, you're not really doing anything.
Signaling. Yeah, you're in-group signaling for online points. That's it.
You're in-group signaling for online points. I like that a lot.
Yep.
That's exactly what you're doing. You're kind of it's like the right side of the spectrum's virtue signaling, right?
Exactly.
But the reality is it means you're not doing anything. Now, if you said, hey, look, I'm not going to comply, and then you publicize it, and then you get arrested, and then you hire an attorney, and you go through the legal system, you know, or you use that as a launch pad for your to run for office, great. But the reality is when people say they're not going to comply with something, it really means that they're more comfortable sitting on their couch rather than actually doing something. Am I wrong? Am I way off? Am I being too critical?
No, I agree with you. You know, there has to be the action behind just the words. I mean, and that's another thing are these that I have a problem with some of the, leadership in the Republican parties. There's a lot of empty platitudes, but no action behind it, you know?
I'm just impressed you could find leadership in the Republican Party. That's amazing.
I'm trying to not hurt too many feelings here.
Oh, come on, man. The name of your platform is Civilian Dissent. You got to hurt some feelings. Break some eggs, my friend.
I think I did with that article, man. I had a lot of people, the older generation, a little pissed off, or a little mad at that.
Well, I think it was great. I think you did a great job. I really liked your article. You are a part of a cultural insurgency by Aaron Kenney. Aaron, thank you so much for your article, and thanks for coming on the air with us, man.
Hey, and as far as these old guys getting mad at you, the way you look at that is they read your article.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep, monetize your haters. That's what I always say.
Everybody's entitled to an opinion, and if they felt strong enough to respond, that's a feather in your cap, and just don't change that mantra, and you'll be fine.
I appreciate that.
All right.
Thanks for watching this clip from Gun Owners Radio. You can watch us live every Sunday from 4 to 6 p.m. California time, right here on our YouTube channel, or if you're in the San Diego area, you can listen to us on 1170 a.m. We're also available on your favorite podcast platform for free. Don't forget to like and subscribe so that you can help restore and protect the Second Amendment, not just in California, but across the country.